candy. Oh, I can't wait. Grams of sugar, 70 milligrams of sodium. What am I gonna do? No! There's no healthy food options! But soft, what light yonder window breaks? It is the east, and healthy foods is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious processed foods, who is already sick and making me pale with grief.
Let's go get some healthy foods.
Golly gee, would you look at these high prices. With my low-wage income and poor healthy eating habits, how can I change the way that I'm living to facilitate healthy lifestyle choices? I can help, but first, let me give you a brief overview on the history of obesity. Obesity is an extremely prevalent and serious problem in America and the world. Obesity, or being overweight, is the number 2 leading preventable cause of death. 1.9 billion adults were overweight in 2016, and 650 million of them were obese. When did we all start to lose ourselves? It all started in 1970. The way that we eat has changed since 1970. The types of food that we eat and the frequency of food that we eat has changed dramatically. In the 1960s, cardiovascular heart disease was the grim reaper, taking millions of lives every year. The sugar industry paid scientists to blame fat as the culprit. There became a stigma around fatty foods and put a higher priority on low-fat foods like rice, grains, bread, and processed food. To replace fat in these new processed foods, large companies added sugar and highly processed additives to make it taste good and to get people to buy them. These cheap additives are likely one of the causes for the steep rise in obesity rates since 1970. With the cheap new foods, people are full of wonder. And the new McDonald's hamburger. And you know what goes best with a McDonald's hamburger? A Coke. Coca-Cola is a huge company that has a large presence in the advertising industry and a booming voice over the market. Large companies like Coca-Cola are diluting the influential message that people of power are sending out about the importance of healthy eating and adequate exercise. If processed foods drive weight gain and large companies are advertising processed foods to customers, then maybe large companies are partially to blame for weight gain. These companies know how to target people and turn a profit. It is not profitable to sell foods that are whole and healthy for customers. If the goal is to dominate the industry and pull as much money as possible, why stop at the cost of millions of lives? Only a few companies control what food is being sold, and they pull in more than $500 billion in sales a year. These large companies practically control what goes on our dinner plates. The products these companies sell are up to 60% cheaper than the healthy alternative. Low-income consumers are the primary victims of the system because they are unable to afford the healthy alternative, so in turn default to the cheap substitute. Is obesity a social problem? Yes. Is it a disease? Yes. I think obesity is a problem that should be treated from a sociological perspective, starting with ways to help people learn healthy living habits and the ability to continue these healthy habits on their own. Obesity should also be viewed as a disease. There are 1.9 billion people worldwide that are overweight. Obesity is a leading cause of cardiovascular heart disease and should be taken very seriously. It starts with the destigmatization of obesity and a greater education of obesity for all. It can't start with the individual, it has to start with everyone.